The pain of parting is nothing to the joy of meeting again. And how joyous indeed it is to be back at Silverstone once more for the British Grand Prix. The queues to get in this morning extended miles back down the A43, such is the enthusiasm for Formula One in this country. With good opportunities to overtake at the end of the Wellington and Hangar Straights, there's a lot of potential for close action around the 3.6 miles of the Silverstone circuit. With 18 corners and average lap speeds of around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the longest and quickest circuits on the calendar. Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Valtteri Bottas, Iceman, Verstappen, Magnussen, Grosjean and Fernando Alonso, Hülkenberg, Leclerc, Esteban Ocon and Gasly, Van Dorn, Ericsson, Lance Stroll and Brendan Hartley. Sirotkin and Sergio Perez rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Lights out, and away we go for the British Grand Prix. This is the home Grand Prix for myself and Lewis Hamilton. As I get a bad start, I'm down into 9th place after both Haas cars have overtaken me. So my next goal is to overtake both Haas cars and Max Verstappen, and that is alright. I have got the Haas cars and Max Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas. So this weekend our car is down on power. We have a few problems. Our internal MGUC is a bit low on power. So currently we have Daniel Ricciardo in front of us, lap 1 of 13 here at the British Grand Prix for round 10 of the championship. So we have Kimi Raikkonen, who is behind us, who is trying to put the fight up into this race. So we're going down towards Maggots and Beckett, towards the back end of the track.
We're looking good from the start.
So our next target is Daniel Ricciardo, cutting the track a bit wide there. So as I always say, we will be having a new engine upgrade coming for the German Grand Prix, which will hopefully help the Renault Sport team to get that win before the end of the season. And there's a bit of contact between myself and Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo gets knocked to one side and we get knocked to the other side. Hamilton is next. And we get a warning for cutting the corner there. We can't get too many of them, we'll get a penalty. Vettel set the fastest lap of 1:32. So yeah, our engine is down in power, so we won't be running at the full max speed, and we won't get points if we keep losing the position like this. So we are going to be pitting on lap 5, and Nico Hülkenberg will be pitting 1 lap later on lap 6. So we're in 4th place. Yeah, 22. So as I always say, there could always be a upset in this race. We could have rain, but rain's not really forecasted for this race since we are in the middle of a heat wave in this weekend. And we could still have a safety car, a virtual safety car, and possibly, like as we saw in Azerbaijan, multiple DSQs. And still, we could have a retirement, or we could have a multi-car pile-up at the back of the grid. So we're still waiting to find out, because there's still another couple of laps. It's about 9 laps remaining in this race, behind Daniel Ricciardo. Kimi Raikkonen is putting the pressure up on us, and Kimi Raikkonen will be trying to put the fight down the inside of us, and he will be wanting to try and overtake us for the 4th place of this Grand Prix. He will want 4th place, and we want the points to potentially become world champion and our debut season. So we have a bit of engine, front wing damage there. Daniel Ricciardo is in front of us. Daniel Ricciardo is taking up the gap in front of us. And we are having a bit of trouble to try and catch up with Daniel Ricciardo, who is our nearest competitor in this race.
Engines showing small signs of wear. Power output will be down.
And as Jeff just said, we have wear to our engine. So power output is going to be down for this race. So by the German Grand Prix, we should have fixed our power output and we will be more racy in this race.
Be careful with the front wing. You've taken some minor damage.
So in our pit stop, we will have to have a front wing change because we have made a mistake and we have hit the side of Kimi Raikkonen's car. Behind us is Max Verstappen, who is going to attempt a dive down the inside in Maggots and Beckett's. And we have to try and keep up with Daniel Ricciardo, who is our nearest rival in this Grand Prix. Otherwise we are in trouble and we might not score a single point this weekend.
Hamilton has just taken the lead.
Lewis Hamilton is leading the race. Hamilton is in the lead of the race. Vettel second, Ricciardo fourth, Verstappen fourth, ourselves fifth, and Kimi Raikkonen in the sixth place.
The distance to the leader is 7.3 seconds.
And if Hamilton wins this race, he'll take the lead in the World Championship. So currently it is Sebastian Vettel leading the championship and the Scuderia Ferrari team leading the Drivers' Constructors Championship for the teams. So we have DRS on Max, and we'll hopefully try and get a dive down the inside of him on the next corner. No, we run wide there, we can't get the dive down that corner, we run wide to the grass. So right, we will be pitting on lap 5.
Hamilton's out in front.
And Hamilton is creating a distance between himself and Sebastian Vettel. Hamilton is creating a distance. Nico Hülkenberg will be pitting in the other Renault sport car, potentially trying to get some points on the lap 6, one lap after us.
Gap to car in front is 2.2 seconds.
2.2 seconds to Max and 1.1 seconds to Kimi Raikkonen. Hopefully we can get a pit. Hopefully we can pit and get a good position in this race, get some points. And that's Hamilton sets the fastest lap of a 1 minute and 35 seconds.
Gap to teammate behind is 3.4 seconds.
And it's 3.4 seconds to our teammate
Give it the best in lap you
Nico
can.
Hülkenberg, and we are pitting this lap. Pitting on this lap, and there's contact between ourselves and Kimi Raikkonen. Let's deliver ourselves a best in lap in this race. Really wide there, that wouldn't help the car. We try not to get any floor damage in this race. We have 4.3 seconds to Max Verstappen, and Kimi Raikkonen will potentially get the DRS into the next DRS.
When monitoring some wear on the ICE, be aware that we will start to see a loss of power.
And we also will have some loss of the ICE, the internal combustion engine, which will power the car, and we will potentially be low on power. And that will not help us in the later stage of the races when we're down in the back of the grid, because then that means we might not score points, because we'll be stuck behind several cars that are going slow, like the Williams and the Haas cars, which are lacking in power this season, who have not scored that many points this season. And we are boxing this lap. Let's see where this pit stop will bring us out of afterwards. Here we are with the pit stop. Several cars are pitting with us. And and we are on the pit limiter, which is 50 kilometers an hour. The pit lane of the British Grand Prix is one of the longest pit lanes in the entire calendar. So we are pitting in the Renault Sports, and we are having a front wing change. And we are going on to the mediums like several other cars, and we are being held up by other cars. And Nico Hülkenberg will be out somewhere near the front, and when he pits, he'll potentially get the best position possible for the Renault Sport team. So we're back out in the 18th place with 2 cars behind us. And there's a lot of ground for us to make up in this race. To the points. So hopefully by the end of the race we will be scoring points in this race. If not, we might potentially finish somewhere like P14. And that's not going to be good for our campaign, because the team wants us to finish in 8th place or better for a few races to get more points for the R&D, so we can get more upgrades later in the season. So we have Sergio Perez in front of us and Fernando Alonso behind us. And Nico Hülkenberg is in the pits behind Valtteri Bottas. Several other cars will be pitting with Nico Hülkenberg. So let's see what the Renault Sport team deliver for Nico Hülkenberg. Nico is going on to the medium, the white wall, to get towards the end of the race. This is a one-stop circuit, and Nico Hülkenberg is going out to overtake Esteban Ocon towards the last stage of the race. We'll be coming out, we'll be going back round just in front of Valtteri Bottas, and that's not going to help Valtteri Bottas in the late stage of the race, being this far down. He had a high qualification yesterday, and so he is down in 15th position, and I'm in 14th position behind him. And now we got Roman Grosjean in front of us, and we have got Valtteri Bottas behind us, and we are on lap 7 of 13.
make a mistake, you can still regain the position. Faster engine modes are available. That brings you up a place. Gap to the car in front is 3.8 seconds.
and we are in P11, and we have 19 runners left on lap 12. So as you saw a few laps ago, Marcus Ericsson has retired from this Grand Prix. So in front of us is Pierre Gasly, and behind us is Brendan Hartley. And if the race finishes like this, we will not be scoring any points this weekend. So hopefully in the German Grand Prix we can score a great podium like we did in the Austrian Grand Prix. That Grand Prix was through luck, and we got the pole position that one because of the wet session. So we are on the final lap, and Brendan Hartley is overtaking us, but we re-overtake Brendan Hartley. Winning wide onto the grass there. So we have Lance Stroll in the Williams behind us. So this season Williams have been having quite a good season so far. They are doing better than Haas, who are in last place in the constructors. They have not been scoring many points this season.
Okay, gap ahead
So we have 9 seconds to Gasly and 2 tenths to Lance Stroll in the Williams. So hopefully we can stay in this position and keep P11, and hopefully the team can see that it was the car's fault mainly, rather than my driving that got us through P11. So we're going back through Maggots and Beckett for the last time. So Lewis Hamilton has won the British Grand Prix, and he is one of the most successful British drivers in his home Grand Prix. He has won his home Grand Prix here, and he is on his way to winning yet another World Championship. And we are coming across the line in P11, and hopefully in other races to come in the future of this season, we can hopefully score a few more podiums and a couple of wins towards the back end of the season, and that will hopefully get us up in the championship. So this race we have finished in P11.
Can't say that I'm happy with how today went, but I'm sure you gave it your best. Better luck next time.
Brilliant stuff from Mercedes today. That's another historic win. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?